5 important features of Obsidian and how I implemented a Zettelkasten workflow. Overview. I take notes wherever I can. Notes could come in form of books, TV, YouTube, and blogs that I read. I store all these notes on my Apple Notes app. Over time, this has caused me problems. The first issue is that the notes that I have built upon my Apple Notes app take ages to find what I need. Secondly, the notes are not organized or structured in a way to make it easy for me to discover new ideas. Finally, I ended up adding the notes and forgetting about them. To solve these issues, I found the Zettelkasten method. This is a knowledge management method used in research and study. The basic concept of Zettelkasten method is take literature notes. These are notes that I captured while consuming content that I don't want to forget or I want to use later. Take reference notes. Create a note which has the source information and find a summary of the contents. Create permanent notes. Here you create a note based on the existing notes and how they are linked to your ideas. Review the notes. Here we review permanent notes to create new content and ideas. The process continues and helps to build up a knowledge bank of notes and ideas. I decided to adopt Zettelkasten method as it allows me to review notes at a low level, understand how they link together between different topic types and generate new ideas. I decided not to adopt the concept of literature notes as I wanted to continue capturing these in Apple Notes, but my goal is at the end of the day to capture the critical notes so it becomes part of my knowledge management system. I also renamed reference notes as source notes. It's much easier for me to understand. I'm not an expert, but I like to share with you how I implemented a custom workflow on Obsidian. Obsidian is a knowledge-based app that provides functionality to, number 1, capture notes quickly in markup language. This means notes are created without proprietary data and can be read in other editors. 2, link between notes. Obsidian allows connections between relevant notes to understand the relationship between notes. Number 3, visualize my notes in many different ways. Obsidian allows me to discover new ideas and relationships between notes that I might not have seen before. Obsidian is a similar product to Roam Research, but the main differences are Obsidian notes are stored offline. This is something I prefer, just in case something happens to the hosted service. Obsidian is free for non-commercial use. Setting up the Zettelkasten workflow. Once I've installed Obsidian and created a new vault, I created subfolders. I also activated and configured the Zettelkasten Prefixer plugin. Let me show you how I did that. I created 2 folders. First one is called Source Notes. The second one is called Permanent Notes. I created a new folder by going to Create a New Folder icon and entering the name of the folder. To configure Zettelkasten plugin, you need to go to Settings, find the plugin sections and activate the Zettelkasten Prefixer. Once activated, I select a folder to store my Zettelkasten notes. Now each time you create a Zettelkasten note, a unique ID will be created. I recommend doing this so that notes do not duplicate with the same name. Source notes. For each source note I create, Obsidian generates a Zettelkasten ID. Along with the ID, I add the full heading, a link, and summary of the contents in my own words, and tags related to that note. Let me show you in Obsidian. You can select the Zettelkasten note from the sidebar. It creates a Zettelkasten ID. I then add a small heading to help me find the right note. I usually add a longer heading in the note. I add a summary of the contents based on my own words. Then finally, link tags. These notes will get created in the Source Notes folder. Permanent notes. I use permanent notes to capture ideas and link them to my source notes. I also include tags, questions to ask to investigate later, and further ideas to explore. Let me show you in Obsidian. I create a new note, I add the name of the idea, I list out the questions or further ideas I want to explore, I then add tags. I then add links to the source notes. This is done by adding double square brackets and finding the notes you want. Once this is linked, you can press Command on Mac or Control on Windows while hovering over the link to see a preview of the contents of the note. By clicking on it while pressing the Command key or the Control key, you can open the note. From there, you can see where the note is linked to other notes on the left sidebar. Review notes. There are 3 ways I review notes: Graph View, Tags List and Search, Random Note plugin. Using these features lets me find notes, discover links between notes, and identify notes that are not linked. The graph view gives a visual representation of all my notes. I can see notes that are not linked. I can zoom into the graph and highlight how notes are linked. Tag list shows all the tags I've created. I create tags based on the areas that I'm interested in or something I want to write about. By selecting a tag, I can see all the notes related to that tag. I use search to remove words that I'm not looking for by using the minus character. The random note plugin can be activated in the Settings Plugins section. By selecting a random note button, Obsidian will open up a note. This is useful for discovering notes that you have forgotten about. Summary. Key features in Obsidian are: Number 1. Note-taking functionality using markup language. 2. Zettelkasten plugin functionality to keep notes unique. 3. Backlinks to link my notes together. 4. Tags to group notes and explore keywords. 5. Graph view to review how notes link together or not how they link together to help me generate new ideas. I'm sure as I continue using Obsidian, I'll refine my workflow and look forward to sharing new features I discover. Let me know if there are other features that I should use in the comment section. If you find this video useful, please like so I know to create some more Obsidian videos. Please subscribe and notify to let me tell you of new videos. Thanks for watching.